Yeah, I don't know how to justify this one. So I won't. The French, more specifically, the French people are gone. Please like and subscribe, and let's get into the video. But yeah, here we are in the world, and the country of France itself, well, I have kept that. But if we do check on the population map mode, what I've gone ahead and done is every single pop that belonged to the French culture group has been deleted. They are all gone. So there we go, we're done. No more French people. And with that wonderful change, well, a couple things we have to mention right off the bat. As in previous versions of things I've done of this nature, more specifically, for example, in the Everyone Catholic mod, or for example, when I put a billion Albanians in London, well, the game does do a couple ticks, or for conversion and changing people's cultures and religions and all those other things, which means that, unfortunately, what I'd found is that if I don't change the primary culture of France as well, well, they all convert back to French. Well, not all of them, but a good chunk of them convert back to French, because the control in some of their starting provinces is quite high, actually, so they get a pretty decent conversion straight back into French right off the bat, and that's not something I wanted. So I kept the French primary culture in places like Akia over here, and for example, inside of the Order of the Knights Hospitaller, those guys still have the French primary culture, which means that unfortunately a decent chunk of them have converted straight back to French, even though I've removed a bunch of their pops. However, when it comes to France and mainland France and all those things, well, I let the culture map mode do the talking for me. It's all Basque. Yep, I've just made everyone inside the local French region Basque to make sure that no one is actually French, which means that a lot of the primary conversions have gone straight back to Basque. Now, why Basque? I don't know. I honestly don't know why I decided to go with Basque. Just kind of looked at the countries around them, didn't want to make them too Spanish, didn't feel like making them German or Italian or anything, and I thought the Basque tend to get a pretty hard time doing anything, so you know what? They can have the, like, 80-odd thousand people in France, because that's kind of what's left of France. And if you're wondering, why is there 80,000 odd people in France? How did that happen? Well, it's around the starting Jewish population of France, plus all the other places. So, for example, there's 27 Jews at game start in Brittany, a decent chunk more Jews in Normandy, but it does also mean that in some of these countries, like, for example, in these chaps over here, well, what's happened basically is that you have to have at least one pop, so even though there's no Jews, I believe, in this space, I can't pronounce it, well, it did spawn in a pop, because you must have at least one population in every single province. So, yeah, this place has exactly one person. Actually, it's probably the case for Brittany. I don't think they had any Jews either, so I think this is just 27 people living in all 27 of their provinces. Yeah, 27 locations. But Normandy, 21 locations, but they actually had some Jews, so they have some population. And France had around, well, 80,000 Jews according to the game, so they have their 80,000 pops. But yeah, that's about it for the mod. As you can see here, the French region is basically entirely depopulated. There's almost no people left here at all. And I will preface this by saying immediately, look, England, if you can't win this 100 Years' War, I don't even know anymore. Like, surely you can now finally win the 100 Years' War, right? Surely. Surely. They have 800 troops. Like, literally 800 guys. Anyway, let's get into the game and take a look at this starting situation of France. Alright, I'm taking a look at this economy, and guys, I think I might have been a touch too harsh on them. I still don't understand how the nobility and burghers are actually making a pretty decent chunk of money, all things considered. Oh, probably from the trade. Yeah, I think they're making trade income. Alright, which, fair enough, but yeah, no, I mean, the fact of the matter is that maintaining all of those buildings is just something they fundamentally can't afford. Just building maintenance is more than their entire income, and that's not including all of their forts. And they have to buy food, of course, because most of these places, well, yeah, there's no one left to work the RGOs. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, even Paris is basically a depopulated mess. They had a pretty decently choice conversion tick, but even then, they are 41% Jewish, which is impressive. And culturally, yeah, they're 41% Ashkenazi Jew, 30% Basque, 7% Low Franconian. There is one French person. One French person survived. Wait, where is he? Where's the French person? Sorry. How? I literally methodically went through and deleted everything. How did they? Wait, is the one French person? Is that our king? I think it might be. I think Philippe VI is the only French person left. That's him, guys. And to be clear, he discriminates against himself. It's a discriminated culture in France. Oh, God. No. This province. And it's not one, it's 401 French people. Oh, because there's a Knights Order Camaraderie, which got filled with 400 Knights French people, which meant that they took the local culture and spawned this guy. It's not the king. It is exactly this province because of the Knights building. Same in here as well. I see. Because of all the hospitality building, it basically spawned in 400 pops that became French. That also being said, their population growth, I've just realized, every single province is like 3% everywhere. I mean, it sounds impressive until you realize that's one. That's one person. Okay. So we'll see. And I'm assuming there's going to be a bit of migration into this area. But at the same time, they're going to be bankrupt in 4 months. Yeah, maybe 5. Okay. And that's assuming they don't spend anything on cost of court. To be clear, also, I'm an observer, so me doing this with the sliders has no impact on the nation. I've mentioned a couple times because some people don't realize that, but yes, I can look at what diplomatic spending can look like. I can see what max cost of court costs, but this doesn't change what the game actually does, for those wondering. Also, Paris is now called Parise because I guess we are, our primary culture is Navarran, which does mean, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we do get access to things like the Sons of the Oak. Neat. That's cool. Right, okay, England. If you don't win this, they don't have any regulars. They have 800 troops there for defense. Oh god, they're so above fort limit. Oh Jesus. Okay. Alright. You've got this, England, I guess. And yeah, I mean, let's see how long it takes them to go bankrupt. Let's get the game going. Alright, huge developments out of France after the first month's sake. They've actually attempted to stabilize their economy by dropping spending on absolutely everything apart from food. We're actually making some money from trade now. Wonderful. Good job on that regard. And we seemingly have deleted a bunch of buildings. So good job on that regard, too. We're doing it. Now, considering the marketplaces are still costing us 1 ducat 6 and we're making 0.5 from trade income, might be an idea to delete all the other marketplaces if you're doing this yourself, I guess. Although why you'd subject yourself to this, I won't know. And we're immediately working on converting the Jews in Paris. Fair enough. And we've also gone straight to assimilate the people of Armanes to Basque. Oh, because I guess some people migrated in? Yeah, I guess we have got some migration now, extra evident. If we take a look at maybe, I guess not religion, but if we take a look at culture, you can probably see we've got some Italians, and all right, yeah, coming in. We've got some Hausa Africans. How did they make their way over here immediately? That's incredible. So some Italians moved over here, some Italians, some West Africans, and yeah, within the first month's already arriving here in southern France. Incredible. But yeah, I don't think it's going to go too well for them. I mean, I guess they've stabilized a bit better than I expected, but still not great. They've deleted even more buildings now. Yeah, basically everything's shut down apart from the marketplaces. Oh, never mind. They had a bad event where they lost a bunch of money and they're bankrupt. All right. Well, you did it. You lasted till November. They decided to tolerate the 300 odd Hausa people that have got into their country. No, 1,419. Wow. There's a lot of these Hausa pops just migrating in from West Africa. But they decided to tolerate them and they're immediately over cultural capacity. Okay. And Bern had their independence supported by Sweden, so I think the French vassal empire might already be crumbling. We shall see, because I think Sweden has to kind of, actually arrive, and I'm not sure they necessarily will. All of France is mobilizing, and it's 500 men. God, none of them could siege anything, can they? Well, they might actually win because of that, yeah. Oh, they're fighting the Pope, though. The first war of... The Pope has just gone in on France as well. Oh, God, okay. Oh... Don't worry, though. We're a scholar. We'll learn our way out of this. Pope, you don't need 8,000 men. Oh god, they're all going to starve inside of France. None of these places have food. Oh god, okay. France is uninvadable because there's no peasants to grow food to steal to supply your armies. Also, wow, congratulations to England. It's been, 2 years? I think they actually have the Bailil because France couldn't help out the Scotland Rebellion. England just got an early Scotland because they helped out the Bailil Rebellion, I believe. So yeah, that's just it. England has snapped up Scotland within the first 2 years. So there you go. If the French are gone, the Scottish become part of England 500 years early. Pope. Oh god. Of course. Also, this is cursed. What have you done to Naples, Pope? Pope, Pope, are you okay? Why has the Pope just gone absolutely sicko mode the moment that he's allowed to beat the French up this hard? That's surreal. I was going to say it's going to be easier to take a lot of land because there's low population here, so it'd be less AE, but the Pope's just he had 2 little exclaves, and he's like, all right, We're going to increase this exclave to be absolutely massive. We're going to increase this exclave to be absolutely massive. The Pope's on a warpath, and he's on a crusade. Damn, battle Pope it is. But yeah, they were managed to hold on to this revolt. The Swedish couldn't really show up to do anything. Yeah, I think the Pope might have bitten off more than he can chew, though. He's already fighting the first war of the anti-Rome coalition. And that's Provence, Orange, Franche-Comté, and Savoy. The 100 Years' War is here. 97.91% strength England versus 2% strength France. Oh, God. Well, they've almost stabilized their economy by max minting and annoying their ability to the point of literally them being on zero and everyone else being super annoyed at them and taxing everything and destroying every single building and every single fort and not spending any money on food or practically nothing on cost of courts. So I guess it's sometimes a success if you look at it too hard, but yeah, no. I mean, I guess I'm impressed they managed to balance the books this well. Oh no, missed the first phase of the 100 Years' War. 0 French troops face up against 50,000. Wait, is it actually? It's actually 0. They straight up do not have. If the King of France himself took up the sword and went to fight, he would infinitely increase the size of the French army. They have straight up no one fighting for them. That's incredible. The French, they're not fighting back. They're absolutely just getting rolled over. I mean, what did I expect, I guess, but, well, looking forward to this peace deal. Oh, look, the Burgundians have switched sides. I guess I don't blame them, given that, this is... Oh, there's the peace deal. Well, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, sorry, what the hell was that? Okay, well, France is in a continued state of collapse. Nobles have started a civil war, a bunch of people have broken free. Yep, okay, right. Oh god, they white-pieced. The French nobility have made their own country. Oh god. It's not looking good for the French, is it? Oh, this brings me so much joy. And they're right back to a second civil war. Oh god, France, you poor thing. This has to be the greatest yo-yo like stock graph I've ever seen. Just the "we are bankrupt" line over that. That is incredible. Oh, I love this so much. This brings me so much joy. Sorry, France. A tale of two pop-ups. Risk of bankruptcy with high inflation. Yep. Checks out. God. Also, the French nobles are getting invaded by Navarre. Good job, Navarre. You've got this. Oh, never mind. The Pope is back for round 2. It's been like 15 years Pope. Wow. He does not like the French. He does not like the French. No, I take it back. Is the Pope just letting them occupy this land? What is the papal military strategy here? Okay, he just wanted to collect his troops before moving out to campaign. I guess that works. Maybe. I mean, to be honest, it's not like there's anyone living in these provinces. Yeah, I mean, it's like one guy per still. If you're wondering if there's been any migration to France, no, there has not been. The closest we got to migration was a bunch of House of Pops moved into the south of France, and then kind of moved a bit around, but not really, no. The Pope's been separate piecing people for more land. Good to know. Good job, Pope. Oh god, France is doing so badly. They've been forced back into the Holy Roman Empire. Oh Christ, well I guess they get to vote on imperial diets now. This has to be one of the most French things I've ever seen. In the French noble revolt, the French noble burghers have risen up in a civil war against the French nobles. Wow, that's incredible. The burghers are rising up against the French nobles' country in a civil war. Stunning. I love this. This is incredible. Oh, I love this so much. And while the French noble burghers are fighting the kingdom of the French nobles, the English have started the second phase of the 100 Years' War. Oh god, it's just getting better and better. Oh, the French are gonna win this. Of course the French are gonna win this. They're in the Empire. Bohemia's defending them. Oh, for God's sake. What can I do at this point? How do I make England win the 100 Years' War? I remove all the French people from France, and the French still find a way. They still find a goddamn way to win the 100 Years' War. Turns out the whole meta was joining the Germans and becoming protected by the Bohemians. What's even the point? Every single change I do, and the French still manage to win somehow. Well, every single universe. I give the English a billion Albanians, the French still win. I get rid of all the French people, the French still win. What do I do? Yeah, there's the peace deal. The French, abusing their plot armor, have managed to drive the English back yet again. Turns out the whole meta was just, oh, I'm small enough to join Germany now. God, even the French nobles are starting to push back the French burghers. I mean, again, push back is a strong word. It's a fight between 148 men and 98 men, but still. As much as it pains me to say, but they've kind of started recovering their country. Like, their economy is more existent. Yeah, the inflation is terrible, but it's gone up to 7 income from 5. They've actually been able to afford food now, so good job on that regard. They have so many nobles in their country, they're actually gaining money during the not paying for cost of court. They're still gaining legitimacy, which is incredible, but there we go, just 0.46 from nobility, I guess, an experienced ruler. Wow. Oh, and they have the Duke of Normandy in their strength income, and that also helps, of course. But no, honestly, given all of these setbacks, they're doing quite well. They're recovering so well that even the French noble successor state is now expanding in the first war of French noble aggression against the country of Entity. What have I done? Well, it begins the third phase of the 100 Years' War. Unfortunately, I think I know how this phase might end as well. Or maybe I spoke too soon. Apparently the Bohemians cannot be bothered to defend the French this time, so might be free reign for the English yet again. Yeah, it does look like Bohemia is going to be sitting this one out, which is great news for the English. Although they are taking stupid amounts of attrition, of course, because there's no food in France. They ate all of it. I have to give it to the French. That whole joining the Holy Roman Empire, genius idea. It almost worked, but unfortunately even Bohemia doesn't care about you. Oh, and there's the peace deal. The English have secured a decent chunk of their land back, so there we go. We'll see if the Bohemians continue to not intervene. If so, then great news for the English, not the best news for the French, and that's a lot of pops they lost there. Alright. Oh, welcome to the second war of French noble aggression. This time it's against the French, and they brought in the Pope. So, okay, well, I guess let's just call it a continuation of their civil war. Oh, and it was over before it even started. The French nobles have taken even more land, and, I mean, the Pope hasn't exactly even started calling this stuff God. So I was going to say that the French are not getting defended by the Bohemians again, but they decided to solidify their membership of the Holy Roman Empire, apparently with an alliance. So, right. I mean, you have a lot of diplomatic capacity. I guess that's one way to spend a good chunk of it. And I guess this is a vaguely positive projection graph. Alright, well, after the Kingdom of the French nobles have taken a slice of Brittany, the Kingdom of France, the real Kingdom of France, not the French nobles, and decided that, you know what, we also want the rest of Brittany back. We want all 7 of them back. So they've gone back in. And I'm not going to lie, I think they might be able to get away with this one as well. No, never mind. We gave all of it to May. Oh god, it just keeps getting worse. What is this? Oh. Sorry, this is just a peak feudalism moment. I want to go over this because this is insane. We have the Kingdom of the French Nobles, which is a revolt attack against the Kingdom of France. This Kingdom of the French Nobles has a subject. They have the subject of Upper Maine. Upper Maine, of course, is a loyal vassal, but they also have their own vassal, Maine. That is to say, Maine is a vassal of Upper Maine. Alright. But they also have another subject, Anjou. Anjou is a subject of Maine, who's a subject of Upper Maine, who's a subject of the Kingdom of the French Nobles, which are a revolt attack against France. However, Anjou is in a personal union with the Kingdom of France. So the King of France is in a union with a person who's a subject of a subject of a subject of a rebellion. And just to make sure we're all on the same page here, every single one of these subjects are loyal to each other. And the French nobles and the Kingdom of France are not fighting. Yep, 100% loyalty. Right. Oh, sorry. Just to be very upfront here, it actually gets worse, because the Kingdom of the French Nobles, which is at peace with France, actually does have a coalition against them, ran by the coalition leader Mouzon. However, a member of this coalition is, of course, the Kingdom of France. So Anjou, which is ruled under personal union with France, is a subject of Maine, who's a subject of Upper Maine, who's a subject of the kingdom of the French nobles, and that everyone in that entire chain is loyal. However, France is in a coalition against the kingdom of the French nobles, while also being at peace with them and also be in a loyal union, but only bits of it. Like, I understand I removed all the French people, but I don't think the situation has gotten any less French. Especially now that you realize that France is a member of the Holy Roman Empire and has added all of their lands into the HRE. And oh, I'm really sorry. I must correct a previous mistake. They're not in a union with Anjou. They're in union with Maine. Completely different. Just one of the people in this vassal chain. I'm sorry. It's a bit hard to keep track of everything. Never mind. Literally, as I unpause, they immediately go into the First French Burgundy War. Alright. Oh god, no, what is that? Border, oh god, I hate this so much. I hate this so much. Never mind, it can be worse. It can be worse. What is this? What is this? What am I looking at here? What is this, Novgorod? Greyhound, what is this? Why did you take this bits of perm? What is any of this? What is going on in India? Why are the French people conditional upon the borders being good in this world? I don't even recognize most of these nations. Where did Vijayanagar go? I mean, China's pretty normal, but they kind of just do that, I guess. Yeah, Japan is, they just kind of, that's how they communicate over there. What have they done to Lithuania? Jesus, that's horrifying. You know what? I guess the French borders aren't that bad nowadays. Now I'm looking at this. Well, the Hussite wars have kicked off, and that's a bit of a problem for France, considering that it's France, Bohemia, and I want to say some pretty relevant people, but Aquila and Trier both have more troops than France, so I guess they're pretty relevant. Against the Pope, Austria, Naples, Saxony, yeah, okay, I think the Pope might have this one now, although we'll see. Bohemia is still quite a monster on their own. It'll be interesting, It's basically Bohemia versus, and France might get occupied. Oh, the Pope scored in a couple more friends. That's quite a few more friends. Pope. France is getting mildly overrun. That's a lot of Germans. I guess to be fair, the Pope was also a bit busy with that whole Third Castile-Aragon war going on as well. The French aren't even in agreement because the French nobles have joined against Bohemia as well. Oh god, okay. So the French nobility are backing the Pope. The French are backing Bohemia. Oh, real civil war hours. And the English have taken this opportunity to invade Brabant. Honestly, quite smart. I stand by that. Good job, England. Someone good at UI. Can you tell me what I'm looking? Most of these stacks are irrelevant, like 390, but then you see just a random 23k stack in here as well. Like, what is this? What is this? Alright, there's the peace deal. They've been forced to annul with Bohemia, and I can't tell what they've taken. I think they've taken some. Oh god, the Pope's taken more. I've just realized the Pope's taken more. What is this? What are these papal borders? Can someone go check the Bible? Is the papal state borders always meant to look like this? I'm not sure. I might have been missing someone. Someone who's good at Bible, tell me if that's what Pope's always meant to look like. Well, okay, I don't need to be a Bible expert to tell you that this is not. No. All of this is just no. Also, Castile has beat up Navarra and released the County of Navarra, as opposed to, of course, the Kingdom of Navarra that's kind of migrated into France now. So, despite my best efforts, the Navarran people are still getting partitioned by the great powers outside of them. So if you are a Navarran enjoyer, I'm sorry, making France primary culture Navarran did not help you out much here. I understand there's a 1.3 beta right now where they've reworked all the great power rankings, but for those people wondering why they reworked them, France is currently the 50th most powerful nation in the world, with an economy of 12 ducats in 1418, and an army of, wow, 2,000 guys, good job, and 88,000 population. And they've got this ranking because they have embraced institutions, and they have the kingdom country rank. They have literally zero score from everything else. Meanwhile, Brandenburg, with triple the population and triple the army, and well, if you look at a tax base of 70 compared to your tax base of 22, so more than triple the economy, is considered a lower great power because they're a duchy. Very different. Yes, the Austria, much weaker nation. They have more regulars than they have than the French have troops, but significantly weaker nation, you know? Great power rank 54. Yeah, that's why they reworked it. However, it's now time for the fourth phase of the 100 Years' War, and this time the Dutch and the Portuguese and more Dutch people will try and defend the French. Let's see if it works out for them. Yeah, okay, I think the French couldn't defend this one either. Right. Wait, what? What did they even take? England? What did you... I don't think you even took anything. You just beat them up for fun? Maybe you released a couple subjects, not I can tell. What did you even do? You 100%ed them. Well, you took like 30 years worth of truth things. You broke all of their alliances. You did it, England. You're gonna have such an easy time in the next war. And there we go. 1436, we're finally back to the fifth phase of the 100 Years' War. France and Holland versus England. They're at it again. 3,000 troops to the French now against, yeah, the English can still field an army. I don't think they win this one. Although, yet again, the English are attacking into the Empire, so maybe, just maybe, Bohemia does actually defend them. Never mind, they won't because there's a power struggle, so there's no Emperor. Scratch all that. Oh, for God's sake, Bohemia joined anyway, somehow, I don't even know how, and yeah, they're already winning. Okay. Honestly, despite all of these best efforts by everyone around them, I think France gets away with this. Say what you want about the French, but even having all of the French people removed from it, they still managed to do quite well as a country. I guess joining the HRE was that ultimate out move. Although Bohemia needs to hurry up and, well, get here, the French are, well, about to go lose Paris again, so, well, knowing the English that they're going to start taking fights and still manage to throw, but maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, yep, and they're forming up for battle. And that's going to be a... Yep, that's only regulars in that battle. Oh god. Yeah. 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 Wait, you can call your allies the French nobles. They've allied France. The French nobles and the French are finally working together. Yep, there's the peace deal, and the French having not only secured a... Oh, did they drop the alliance with... They dropped the alliance with the French nobles, okay. But nevertheless, they've secured themselves a coastline now, so congratulations to France. They've been fighting back, and despite everything I've given to them, honestly surviving. They're no longer bankruptcy cycling, they've got an economy going. It's a pretty terrible economy, especially for 1438, but considering the state that we're in and just how much of their population they've recovered, I think they've been doing quite well given everything. Honestly, hats off to the French. They've pulled it back. Best that I can say. They've genuinely pulled us back. Alright, and after doing nothing for another decade yet again, the French and now the Austrians are off against the English again, in the sixth phase of the 100 Years' War. They're going to get bailed out by the Austrians again, aren't they? Maybe not. It's no Bohemia. Also, Bohemia, what did you... Bohemia, what is this? Oh, why did I look over here? What is this? I'm going to stop looking at other places and let's focus on France instead. There we go. I mean, I guess the fact it's such a back and forth when the French don't have a population is just insanely impressive, nevertheless. Like, how have they survived? I got rid of all their pops. This was meant to be a clean sweep. I was meant to finish this video in like 1380 and move on with the rest of my day. It's 1454. Why am I still here? How are they winning battles? Are we ready for them to make France and old treaties again and take half a province? You ready for that peace deal? Oh, and last second now, the French nobles have joined. Oh my god. What is this anti-English coalition? They just don't want them to invade France. Oh. I'm just ready for the English now to take 2 provinces of the French nobility. Separate peace for all of the AE, and then they take nothing from France after all of this fighting. Just to double check again, so the English have lost 70,000 and killed almost 100,000 French people, which is very impressive. I guess they're not necessarily French because there's a bunch of Austrians and everything else as well involved, but still. Can we just siege Paris? I'm assuming that's why they're not piecing out. Why is... Why is that just such an impossible challenge? Why do we keep walking off that siege? We don't need to go fight this random 3k stack. That is not necessary. It's fine. Oh, okay, there we go. And what's the peace deal? You had 100 war score. Do you just take these fights for the love of the game? You just show up, you beat up the French, and then don't take any land and leave? I mean, at some point, I guess I'm just impressed with the grandeur of this flex. Congratulations, you beat up the French again, but you beaten up this France. You beat up a France with 19 income. 19! Wales has triple that income. Wales! You're beating up someone with the third of the monetary budget of Wales. At this point, even Castile's taken more land than you. Pope's taken more land than you. You're just doing it for the love of the game, aren't you? I mean, he is definitely a free thinker, I'll tell you that much. He is doing a lot of free thinking. At this point, I am just disappointed, but the French have done the greatest thing they always do. They've annoyed me. They've annoyed me excessively. They refuse to die. They've done a terrible job. They haven't recovered too well. I mean, again, 17 income is nothing to call home about, but they've rebuilt a country, joined the Holy Roman Empire, and they've basically just become a bigger Luxembourg, for lack of a better word. Well, I say bigger Luxembourg. They've become a small Luxembourg. They've become a Lorraine-esque country. So not like entirely irrelevant, but they are quite literally comparable to the Palatinate of Lorraine, right? They've just become one of the German small minors here, which, fair enough. Honestly, it's a solution. And they've survived, which is a lot more than I expected, so hats off to them. But is anything interesting going to happen? No. Semi-regularly, someone like the English or the Castilians will show up, beat them up, and call it a day. I don't think we're going to see any other major developments, I'll be honest. And the rest of the world is pretty cursed. Really cursed. I guess India's becoming a little bit better. However, when it comes to removing the French people, you just kind of demoted them into a small German minor from that, and that's about it. I guess the Pope and Spain had a good time, and the English probably enjoyed beating up the French continuously, but they just didn't do anything with it. And I guess to some extent I have to say, you know what, England, maybe I've been a bit too harsh to you. You fundamentally understand the greatest point that I so often missed, is that you don't actually want to own France. You just want to beat them up for the ego trip. Or maybe that's just a very major cope. It is just a very major cope. But it is with that cope that I will be ending today's video. Thank you very much for watching, with a special thank you to Ark, Solus, Lemon, Zendika, Nick Huss, Nanhatan, Star 72, Yosen Rabbit, Best Pro Gaming, Grabno, Flavia, Lebrule, WH Sov, Anthony 35, AC Napo, Conspiracy Pizza, Yukata, Danray, Marvi, Jack, Ryland, Stutalon, Andrew Black, Nebula, Centronic, Twinit, Aquabird, Yakaman, Barak, Lord Swarfin, and Tikwon.